Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Here we are tonight once again with the Mid-South iRacing Tour at the Hickory Motor Speedway. And we are getting ready to go in week number 2 in the 2022-2023 Winter Series. Is right now at the top of the board sitting the number 27 machine, Matt Elzy Jr., very successful front-wheel drive racer in the real-life world. Right behind him, the guy that just picked up the victory in the late model stock race just before this. I was actually in that event. Didn't make it very far. Got very well cleaned out very early on in that race, but it was a good race to spectate. Sitting third right now is the 00 Justin Brooks Designs, Mike Ashby, Alex Sexton in the 4th position right now on the board. Unfortunately, I don't see last week's winner, JD Legg, in the server right now. Looks like he might be sitting this one out. It's on our screen right now. We see the 2-time champ, Carter Russo. As we look in on our backstretch camera, in a good view of all the billboards, going to be watching everybody fly by it right there. And if you are a previous viewer of the WD Broadcasting Network, you might notice I do sound a little bit different. And that is because I actually, for my birthday this past weekend, got a new microphone. So big shout out to my mom and dad for making that happen. But at any point in the night, if the microphone gets a little bit too loud and you really can't hear anymore, just let me know and we can get that all figured out. So if the audio just goes bad at any point in the night, don't be shy to let me know down in the chat so we can get that fixed. But 4 minutes left in the practice session here. We had a very caution-filled race last week at the Five Flags Speedway, as JD Legg would end up bringing home the victory, but after 208 laps of racing, 20 caution flags, Legg was able to pick up the victory. The 2-time champion, Carter Russo, came home in the 2nd spot, with Julian Valadez finishing off the podium. The 4th place, the guy that finished 4th in that race, Chase Pierce, in the chat right now, unfortunately not going to make it here tonight, but he will be here in spirit. A couple other guys that were also here last week. Jake Brooks, who actually promotes the series, so thank you, Jake, for giving us a place to race on Wednesday nights, as well as Drew Chance. He was also there last week. A couple other guys, Mark Keatman, who we saw have some really unfortunate luck getting taken out from the 3rd position. Hate when that happens, especially for a guy like Mark, who usually tends to keep his nose fairly clean up in the front. Colton Coe also here tonight, currently sitting in the 13th spot, a couple tenths off of the pace. But with 2 minutes left here in the practice session, we'll just go to a quick non-stop camera while we get some sights around the Hickory Motor Speedway. Alrighty, folks, we are back at the Hickory Motor Speedway. We got a minute left in the practice session here. It looks like Matt Elzy Jr. will actually stay up at the top of the board, which is really good for Elzy, as he has some pretty limited iRacing experience compared to the other names in here like Alex Sexton and Michael Crafton, guys that have been on the simulator for a long time. So Elzy's showing a lot of quick speed. You see him going around out of turn number 4 right there. Defending champion Mark Keatman sitting at 5th place on the board right now. Just a little bit off of Matt Elzy's time. Ethan Wolf, who we've seen for a long time here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, he's currently in the 6th position. Two-time champion Carter Russo 7th. Right there you see on the left side of your screen, no more time left in the practice session, so we're going to be getting ready for qualifying here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. I do apologize if you hear a small meow in the background of this video. My cat decided he wanted to be a part of the broadcast here tonight, so we do have a special guest. Not our usual special guest, but nonetheless, we are ready to go for qualifying. You see 5-minute qualifier on the board. Current track record is a 13.772 set by Jimmy Gauker just over a year ago. So on the racetrack right now, the number 18 machine, the SRL National Toyota Camry, making his way through the center of turns 3 and 4, coming to the white flag this time around. Drew Chance on the speedway. We saw him get way sideways out of turn number 4. That's going to be it for Chance as he goes pit side. He's currently at the top of the board with a 13.87. But that'll be it for Drew Chance out of turn 4 right here. First lap time, Austin Coe going 7th quick with a 14.16. Austin Coe representing the Coe Heating and Air Cornwall Tools number 28. Second time around, picks it up a little bit, but he's still going to be in the 9th spot. And right here, making his way onto the speedway. We saw him quickest in the practice session for quite a while, so he's got a lot of speed in that 27 machine. But out of turn number 4, Matt Elzy Jr. starts his qualifying run. As I say that, Michael Crafton goes to the top of the board with a 13.78, just a little bit off the track record. Elzy, first lap time, going to go 5th quick, and he's going to slide it into turns 1 and 2 on lap number 2, so he's not going to get a second lap time. Is right there on your screen. You saw Mike Ashby pulling it to a stop in turns 1 and 2 after going to the 2nd spot with a 13.80. So on the speedway right now, the defending champion Mark Keatman heading into turns 3 and 4 for his qualifying run. He heads up and out of the corner. The green flag is out for the number 2 machine. And out of turn number 4, Keatman sees the white flag. Lap number 1, he's going to go 8th quick with a 13.92. The Mid-South iRacing Tour has made 3 previous appearances at the Hickory Motor Speedway, the last of those coming on August 17th of this year. And Mike Ashby would go to victory lane. Caden Tufts also picking up a victory here, as well as Carter Russo. So 3 different winners. Can we see a 4th one here tonight? You let us know down in the comments section below. But we have a minute and 30 seconds left of practice. A couple more guys making their final qualifying runs. Colton Coe out of Fort Wayne, Indiana on the racetrack right here. Sees the green flag out of turn number 2. If you look at the front end of that machine, you see a Ford Crown Victoria Kind of modeled after Colton's real life race car that he ran all of this year. He goes third quick on lap number 1. You're not going to get any better on lap 2. You saw him slide into turns 1 and 2 right there. So another Mid-South iRacing Tour regular, the Crete, Illinois driver. ABC Auto Parts, Tri-State Disposals, number 112, Ethan Wolf. He grabs the white flag right here, lap number 1 for Wolf. That'll put him 13th quick with a 13.97. So 13.97 for Wolf on the first time around. Lap number 2. Is it going to get any better? It looks like he falls off just a little bit. So Wolf not going to be able to pick it up on the second time around. We still got a few cars in here that have yet to take a lap time. Those being Jesse Henderson, Alan Godfrey, Noah Allison. Just a couple of names in here. But with 15 seconds left in the qualifier, looks like they're going to lose their opportunity to. So right here on your screen, you're going to see everybody scroll by with their official lap times. Michael Crafton going to the top of the board with a 13.787. I was rudely cut off there by the switch in the session, but nonetheless, here are your qualifying results. As right now, you see at the top of the board, Michael Crafton up on top of the 13.787. Mike Ashby going to roll off from the second position. Colton Coe in the third spot. Mark Keatman fourth. Drew Chance fifth. Carter Russo, the two-time champion, in the sixth spot. Galen Clark in the seventh. The guy we saw quick time in practice all of today is going to roll off eighth. Matt Leet and Alex Sexton make up row number 5. Austin Godfrey and Cooper Ward. Ethan Wolf, David Hill, Kenneth Kuko, John Piette, Nick Smith, and Caleb W. Hill, your top 18 right here. There we go. I figured out how to do it. But that right there is the rest of your field. Adam O'Brien, Austin Coe, Trevor Bowen, Matthew Moniak, Jesse Henderson, Noah Allison, Jake Brooks, Alan Godfrey, and Michael Dunn. Your 27-car field. Looks like a couple of the guys that are on the tail end of the grid, not in the session at the moment, so could just see I believe a 22-car field. But nonetheless, you see Crafton on the pole in tonight's race. And I mentioned that he won the late model stock race just before this, so definitely some speed here at Hickory. Crafton currently has 1 super late model victory to his name, so trying to add another one here tonight. And rolling off to his outside. He won last time we were here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. So he's going to try and go back to back. That's Mike Ashby, the Justin Brooks Designs 00. And the man right behind him, the two-time champion, the defending champion, Mark Keatman, going to roll off 4th. The two-time champ, Carter Russo, will roll off 6th. This looks like Colton Coe in the 28 machine might be going to the back of the pack for the start of this race. Looks like he is. So Colton Coe going to surrender that third-place starting position and go to the back of the pack. Going to try and go the long way here. So out of turn number 4, the pace car heading around the Hickory Motor Speedway. And folks, it's now time to let me know who exactly you're cheering for in this event as they bring them down the back straight away. Going to pass our Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes backstretch camera right here as the field makes their way into turns 3 and 4. It's going to be Mike Ashby, Michael Crafton, Drew Chance, and Mark Keatman leading us to the green. Crafton gets into the gas pedal, and we are racing down into turns 1 and 2. Leader of lap number 1 will be the pole sitter Michael Crafton. The battle is behind for the 5th position. Carter Russo up on the top side of the racetrack. trying to make it work early on around Galen Clark. Oh, a little bit of contact there through the center of the corner. Here comes Matt Elsie Jr. trying to go up front early on. As Russo still trying to make things work up on the top side. As you see the field start to get single filed out. Elsie goes to the bottom of the racetrack, and they go around on the bottom of turn number 4. Galen Clark, Matt Elsie getting tangled up, and that'll put us under yellow for the first time here tonight. We saw it on our screen right there, but we'll take another look at it from up above in the tower. So right here, you see Elsie in the 27 trying to get around Carter Russo and Galen Clark, but through the center of the corner, Elsie just tries to cut underneath. There's not enough room and tags the rear end of the 38, and that puts us under caution for the first time here tonight. So back up front, Crafton and Ashby both able to get away nice and early on that initial start. Keatman was able to slip into the 3rd position. Drew Chance going to be 4th, and Carter Russo your top 5. A very talented top 5 right here, with Alex Sexton just adding on in the 6th position. Fortunately, Elsie and Clark both going to be going to the rear after that one. So they're both going to lose their top 5 track position early on, so they're going to be having to come the long way around. So right here on the left side of your screen, you're going to see the top 20 on the field, or on the tower. 75 laps of racing here tonight. We're going to see who's going to have the class of the field for this. This Crafton right now looks pretty strong up front, but obviously we haven't been green flag long enough to really know who's got that long run speed. We're going to find out if anyone's going to have long run speed, as last week long run speed was not really an issue, as we didn't have any long runs. So hopefully the story is different here tonight, as Hickory last season was a very good race. So we're going to try and repeat that here tonight, but you do see the lights going off on the iRacing.com pace car. That's going to mean we're going green next time by. It'll be Michael Crafton and Mike Ashby leading us to the flag once again. So through the center of turns 3 and 4, Crafton and Ashby. Crafton going nice and early. Ashby going to have to go to the outside into turns 1 and 2. He's going to get down in line. Meanwhile, Drew Chance and Carter Russo go to battle for the 4th spot. See Chance up top. Going to fall back a little bit. Here comes Alex Sexton out back. The number 48 machine of Kenneth Kuko going for a slide through the center of turns 3 and 4. I believe we're going to stay green after that one. So Crafton up front, your leader, Cooper Ward, Drew Chance side by side for the 6th position. Looks like Chance going to slam the door through the center of turns 1 and 2. Give the 6th spot to Drew Chance. But up front, Michael Crafton and Mike Ashby going to start to go to battle here on lap 13 of 75. You see Ashby kind of blinking in and out right there in the 00. A little bit of connection issues. Might draw some issues later on in the race, but right now he is still running in that 2nd spot. Is on our screen right here. Battle for the 14th position. As it looks like the 57, which is usually piloted by Jake Brooks, actually going to be piloted by Adam O'Brien here tonight, trying to make something happen on the outside of Caleb Hill in the 1 machine. They're battling really nicely here for the 13th spot. Meanwhile, the Coe brothers right behind them, just kind of waiting in line for their turn to get around. There's 4 cars right there under a blanket out back. It's Colton Coe going to try the inside on O'Brien. Austin Coe on the outside. It looks like Caleb Hill in the 1 going to get the spot for now. Here comes Colton Coe to the inside, going to try and take the position away. So O'Brien not where he wants to be, up on the top side of the racetrack. Meanwhile, here comes John Piet and Matt Elsie Jr., they want a piece of the action here in the 13th position. A good battle out back. So back up front, Michael Crafton and Mike Ashby. As Crafton has a few car lengths on him, and as I say that, Matt Elsie Jr. having trouble in turns 1 and 2. We'll take a look at what happened. That puts us under yellow for the second time here tonight. So right here on your screen, you see Elsie and Piet in the 5 battling for position. It looks like they go into the corner, and John Piet just gets in a little bit too hot, and Elsie making contact with the right front of the 5 machine, and that'll put us under yellow once again. So just before that caution flag was thrown, we saw Mike Ashby and Michael Crafton very close to each other up front. We kind of might have seen Ashby start to get a little bit impatient on the back bumper right there. He was starting to close in quite a bit with almost a third of this race gone. You got to wonder when these guys are going to start making these really aggressive moves up in the front of the field. So far, we've had 2 caution flags. And when we complete this lap right here, we'll be 22 laps in of the scheduled 75. Your biggest mover right now is the number 62 machine on your screen right there, Michael Dunn. He is up 7 positions from his starting position all the way back in 26th. So Dunn up on the wheel quite a bit. Alex Sexton is up 5 positions from his 10th place starting spot up into the 5th position. He's going to have a true chance to his outside when we send him back green next time around. You see the field doubling up. As we take a look at them as they head down the back straightaway, going to send them green this time by. There's the field double file behind the iRacing.com pace truck. It's going to be Michael Crafton and Mike Ashby once again, leading us to the line. Pace cars off. Crafton going nice and early once again. Ashby's going to hang on to the outside. We're going to have a battle for the lead into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Russo trying to put his nose in the mix for the top spot. As Crafton able to clear Ashby, Russo going to get around as well. Ashby stuck up on the top side of the racetrack, not where he wants to be. As here comes Mark Keatman trying to battle for the 3rd position in the number 2. Alex Sexton in the 9 also right there on the back bumper of Mark Keatman. And as I say that, the caution flag flies. Under yellow for the 3rd time here tonight. Matthew Muniak in the back of the pack, having some trouble. As we'll take a look at what happened. As you see right here, going through the center of the corner, Colton Coe making a little bit of contact with the number 10 machine. And right there, Adam O'Brien just checking up a little bit. And then the number 7 machine getting into the back end. So Trevor Bowen just kind of know where to go. But that'll put us under yellow for a 3rd time here tonight. And for the first time here tonight, we have somebody different in that 2nd spot on screen right now. The 2-time champion, Carter Russo, has moved up into the 2nd place spot. Mike Ashby just got a bad start on the top side right there and got shuffled to the back as he moves all the way back to the 4th position because Keatman was able to get by as well. So Crafton's still going to be your leader, but we'll have a new driver in the 2nd place spot here on this next restart. So 30 laps in this time around. Crafton, your leader, Russo 2nd, and Keatman 3rd. I'm going to step away for just a moment on the WD Broadcasting Network. So into turns 3 and 4, the pace car drops off the Hickory Motors Speedway. We are back racing. Carter Russo with a really good start on the top side. He's going to have to battle with Michael Crafton into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Russo with an advantage. But here comes Michael Crafton back to the bottom side, trying to make something work. Is Russo going to have to give way through the center of the corner and out back? The caution flag flying once again. Austin Coe turned around the wrong way, as well as Adam O'Brien collected as well. So you see the pair of 28s heading down the back straightaway. Colton in front, older brother Austin behind him. Just gets into the corner and tries to lay off of his younger brother's back bumper and just gets a little bit too much into the brakes and ends up going for a slide through the center of turns 3 and 4. That'll put us under yellow once again. As up front, Michael Crafton still your leader. We saw Carter Russo give him a big challenge on the top side, just unfortunately could not make it work through the center of turns 3 and 4, so Crafton's going to hang on to the lead for now. As we come around this time by, we'll have 35 laps completed. 4 caution flags so far. And under this current break, I'm going to go grab a quick drink, and I'll be right back on the WD Broadcasting Network. You won't miss a thing as we're going nonstop. And folks, I am back. Got a nice Coca-Cola and some Doritos to get me through the rest of this one as we are just past halfway. And it's Crafton and Russo once again leading us to the green. Trouble behind him. Drew Chance kind of getting away funky right there. That's going to stack up the field behind, but right up front, Carter Russo, Michael Crafton making contact off of the second corner. Here comes Mark Keatman to the bottom side of the racetrack. Nearly contact right there. Keatman in a second. Here comes Carter Russo trying to get down in front of Ashby for the third spot. Is Alex Sexton up on the top side, trying to make it work around the outside of Mike Ashby. So Sexton up on the top. Looks like he's going to get pulled down the back straightaway. Cooper Ward going to try and take advantage. There's Ward down low. Sexton up top. Looks like Ward's going to have it at the line that time around. Alex Sexton not where he wants to be up on the top side. Looks like he's able to get in line in the 6th spot up in front of him. We have a battle for the 2nd position. Mark Keatman and Carter Russo starting to go at it here. Just past 40 laps into this one. As you see the 21 of Russo all over the back bumper of the MK Performance number 2. Crafton still your leader, and the caution flag flies. Nick Smith in the 10 machine goes around and turns 3 and 4. We'll take a look at what happened. So right here down the back straightaway, you see him battling with David Hill in the 0-3, and just Hill gets in there a little bit too hard and grabs the left rear of Smith, and up the racetrack he goes. So that'll put us under caution for, I believe, the 5th time here tonight. So Crafton, your leader. Keatman in 2nd, Russo 3rd, Ashby 4th, and Cooper Ward into the 5th spot. So Crafton up front, trying to pick up his 2nd victory here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour in the Super Late Model Division. The two guys behind him, they both have countless victories. Between the two of them, Carter Russo having 14 and Mark Keatman having a whopping 16 victories here in the Mid-South iRacing Tours. So two very experienced veterans behind Michael Crafton in the 09, making his first start of the season as they roll around the Hickory Motor Speedway under caution once again. If you are new here to the WWE Broadcasting Network, I do highly recommend that you like the page, as we have a lot of iRacing content on here every single week, including the Mid-South iRacing Tour on Wednesday and Sunday nights, and the WWE Broadcasting Network Super Series on Thursdays. We'll also be having a couple more head-ons to my broadcasting schedule in the coming weeks, so make sure you stay tuned to figure out what our plans are. But the pace car drops off the racetrack. It's Michael Crafton and Mark Keatman leading us to the green. Crafton into turns 1 and 2. He's going to have an advantage going down the back straightaway. Is back behind him, a melee into turns 3 and 4. It looks like there was oil down on the racetrack or something, a massive pileup in the center of the corner, and that'll put us under yellow once again. We'll take a look at what happened. So we'll take a look at what happened here. You see the 99 of Ward and Ashby battling, a little bit of contact there, and just they all stack up down the back straightaway. You see Ethan Wolf turned up into the outside wall, and everybody in front of them also going for a slide. Ashby involved. The number 1 machine of Caleb Hill also going for a ride in turns 3 and 4. So that'll put us under yellow once again. So up front, your leader right here, Michael Crafton in the 09 machine. You see on the top left of your screen right here, 24 laps to go. So far, nobody really having any sort of challenges for your leader, Michael Crafton. But we're going to find out if anybody is able to try the high side. We've seen Carter Russo and Mark Keatman make challenges up front, but just not able to complete the pass. So Keatman going to have another shot at it here as we send him back. Green flag racing with 22 laps to go. It'll be Crafton, Keatman, Russo, and Matt Leach in the 4th spot. Chance 5th. And Austin Godfrey 6th. And now to turn number 4, the pace car going. And as well as Michael Crafton. Crafton goes nice and early into turns 1 and 2. Keatman gets down behind him all over the back bumper. As Mark Keatman trying to get around Michael Crafton. Out behind him, Alex Sexton in the 9 machine trying to make his way towards the front of the field. He's on the inside of Austin Godfrey in the 1, and the other one in front of him is Caleb Hill. So Alex Sexton in the 9 into the 7th spot right here, working the inside of Austin Godfrey. Looks like Godfrey's going to fall back. He's going to lose a couple spots. It looks like he might have had problems there in the center. And he comes to a stop in turns 1 and 2, and that brings out the caution flag. Yeah, it looks like we saw on our screen he had trouble and got into the outside wall. So you see him up on the top of the racetrack and just comes to a complete stop right here, puts us under the caution flag. So that'll put us under yellow once again. Your leader still is Michael Crafton. Really, nobody's has had any sort of challenge for him so far with 18 laps to go. This restart right here could mean the world to drivers like Mark Keatman and Carter Russo, who have been trying to get around Crafton the entire race, just not able to do it so far. So into turns 3 and 4, the pace car pulls off of the Hickory Motor Speedway. Keatman gets a good jump in the 2 machine, actually getting the jump into turns 1 and 2 as well. Russo kind of got into the back bumper of the 09 machine. Here comes Mark Keatman to the top spot. Crafton going to have to settle for second right now. His new leader, lap number 60, Mark Keatman to the point. Keatman up front. Going to start to try and stretch out that lead just a little bit. Is back behind them, Matt Elsie Jr. and Colton Coe battling for the 8th spot. This looks like Coe is going to get it for now. Here comes Galen Clark in the 38 trying to make it. They're trying to get around Elsie for 9th. As John Piet going to the inside of the 38 machine for the last spot in the top 10. In front of them, Colton Coe getting around Caleb Hill. So Coe trying to put on a late race charge, moving up into the 7th spot. As out back, the yellow flag flies. Matthew Moniak, Cooper Ward, Trevor Bowen, a lot of guys involved on the back straightaway. We'll take a look at what happened. So right here into turns 1 and 2, you see Ward and Moniak, both the 99 machines, make contact. Nowhere for Nick Smith, Kenneth Kuko, and Trevor Bowen to go. And just really, the track was kind of blocked right there down the back straightaway. And sometimes that just happens, especially at a small, tight racetrack like Hickory Motor Speedway. So very unfortunate turn of events. But you see the 299 machines in the front of the pack right there. There's actually Cooper Ward going to the back. But you see Matthew Moniak in front of your leader. So that means he's going to get a wave around and stay on the lead lap. So 10 laps to go, coming to 9 this time around for race leader Mark Keatman. We saw him get a really good jump on that restart and was able to drag race the 09 of Michael Crafton down the back straightaway with the help of teammate Carter Russo in the center of 1 and 2. Kind of saw the 21 get into the back bumper of the 09. We're going to find out right here if Michael Crafton has anything left in the tank to get back around Keatman. So it's going to be Keatman, Crafton, Russo, Chance, Leach, and Sexton, your top 6. Out of turn number 4. Oh, a little bit of contact. Crafton going around. And a massive pileup down the front straightaway. You saw Crafton get turned. And everybody piling in down the front stretch. And for this one, folks, we're going to go to our friends up in the Goodyear blimp to see what exactly happened. So right here on the restart, you see the pace car pulling off. Everybody goes nice and early, and the 09 at Crafton just comes down the racetrack. And Keatman was not ready to give up his ground, and Crafton goes up the track, checks up a little bit, and right there was the 18 of Drew Chance. Really nothing that Chance could do. Crafton going to go to the back of the pack after that one. In fact, he's actually down pit road after leading the majority of this race up in the front. So Keatman, your leader. Russo going to be in the 2nd spot. Matt Leach 3rd. Caleb Hill 4th. Matt Elsie Jr. into the 5th position. We saw a lot of guys involved in that one. So 5 laps to go. Under caution for the 9th time here tonight. See a couple guys right there behind the iRacing.com pace car just waiting for their wave around. As we come around to 4 laps to go this time. Keatman is still your leader. And we'll be sending him back to green with, I believe, a green-white checkered finish. So should be fairly exciting between the two MK Performance teammates to see who's going to win this one at Hickory. So the field doubled up, getting ready to go for a green-white checkered attempt right here. Russo and Keatman, your leaders. Keatman going nice and early, driving it down the racetrack. He goes into turns 1 and 2 as the leader. Down the back straightaway, Russo trying to battle up on the top side. Keatman down low, Russo up top through the center of 3 and 4. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go. Russo tags the wall. That's going to open up the door for Mark Keatman down the back straightaway. Matt Leach and Carter Russo battling it out for the second position. And through the center of turns 3 and 4, Mark Keatman going to collect his 17th victory here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. The 25 machine of Matt Leach coming home in the second spot. Carter Russo finishes third. Matt Elzy Jr. and Caleb Hill rounding out the top 5. So Mark Keatman able to pick up yet another victory here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. And he comes down the front straightaway. Going to park the number 2 MK Performance machine in victory lane after he burns it down a little bit. So we will go trackside in just a second for an interview of our top 3. We'll be right back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network, and right there on your screen, you see your winner, the MK Performance number 2, Mark Keatman, picking up his 17th victory here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Well, Mark, we saw you kind of just ride in the third position for a lot of that race, and then you were able to get around your teammate Carter Russo, and then make your way around the leader, Michael Crafton. Let me know how your race went.
Yeah. Actually, personally, I had a pretty decent race. Just tried to keep my nose clean. I wanted to just keep that third spot so I could stay on the bottom. Top side really wasn't the place to be. I got a really good start there, that one restart next to Crafton, and was able to clear him on the top there off of 2. And he gave me a shot in 3 to try to move me back out of the way, but I was able to hang on to it, and we never looked back after that.
Yeah, and you said the top was not the place to be on the restarts, and we saw that a lot tonight, especially with Mike Ashby. He was up on the top on that one restart and fell back to about the 6th position, so you were lucky enough to get the lead early on when you were up on the top, and as you said, never look back. So 17 victories here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, and a great start to another season here for you. What's it going to take to keep this up?
Probably just good luck. As you know, we got absolutely murdered at Five Flags for whatever reason that was. But no, what better redemption than to come back the next week with a win? I couldn't ask for any better. I just got to thank all my friends, my family, who all watch and support me, and cheer me on every week.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're growing quite the fan base down in the comment section below, so congrats to you and your fan base and all your team, as you guys picked up the victory, and Carter Russo also came home in the 3rd spot here tonight. So congrats, and we look forward to seeing you back next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks for broadcasting, Winston. Always a good time with you.
Alrighty, well, thank you, and we will see you next week probably. So that was your winner here tonight, Mark Keatman, and now we're going to talk to our 2nd place driver, and I actually don't see the number 25 machine in chat, so we will bring in our 3rd place finisher, Carter Russo. Well, Carter, we saw you try and almost get around leader Michael Crafton, and then actually gave up the spot to your teammate, but luckily you were able to come home in the 3rd position here tonight. Tell me how your race went.
Yeah, just early on, we were trying to save my tires, and but hopefully it's going to clean up a little bit, so we get a little bit of them long runs in there and have a little bit more left than the guys in front of me. But just wrecking, and didn't really do me no good. Nobody had an advantage with the tires, and I gave it all I had on that restart with Crafton and Mark there, just trying anything I had with them couple laps left, and bumped him, and it kind of got him a little more sideways than I wanted to. Mark was able to get by, so I knew when that happened I wasn't going to be able to get back by him. Just let out of it and let him gather it up. Didn't want to get into the rear. But yeah, just tough race when there's a lot of cautions. You don't really have any time to do anything.
Yeah, exactly what you said right there. Not really any time to do anything. Is we saw a lot of guys have a lot of speed. Like we saw Matt LZ Jr. have a lot of speed in practice. You had a lot of speed. Just not really any time to make your moves and really plan out how your race is going to go when you got to restart the entire race. So hopefully it gets better in the coming weeks, but you still ended up with a 3rd place finish here tonight. Who do you got to thank?
Yeah, just Mark Keatman for letting me run under his name, JT Towing. Just Jake Brooks for putting on this event. Hopefully we'll be able to clean it up and go back home. Us admins will do our best to see what we can do to clean it up and come back next week and hope for the best.
Alrighty, well, congrats on your 3rd place finish here tonight. Your team both on the podium, so a good race for MK Performance. We look forward to seeing you back next week.
Yep, thank you.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that was our 3rd place finisher, Carter Russo, the 2-time champion, but tonight it was defending champion Mark Keatman picking up the victory, as Keatman picks up his record 17th victory here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. And a lot of those I was able to call, so I'm very glad I got this whole deal going with the Mid-South iRacing Tour. It's been a lot of fun. And we look forward to next week, which is actually North Wilkesboro, which is one of my favorite tracks to run in the Super Late Models. So hopefully these guys don't let me down and put on a good show next week for all you fans. So North Wilkesboro next week. And we will see you guys back. Unfortunately, tomorrow night we won't be here on the WD Broadcasting Network with the WD Broadcasting Super Series. It is Thanksgiving, so everybody have a nice day tomorrow. Make sure you spend it with your families and have a good meal. But we will see you guys back Sunday night with the Mid-South iRacing Tour Dirt Series, and then next Wednesday with the Supers once again. So I thank everybody that tuned in to this point. Thank you guys for watching and for all the support here on the page. But until next time, y'all take it easy.